Hi friends, welcome to Bookkeeping Organization. I'm Elise, and today we're going to be talking all about bookkeeping for your small business, what it is, why you need it, and how to get started. Let's do it.
Did you grab a pen and paper? Here we go. So who am I? I'm Elise. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a Disney fan, I am a Diet Coke drinker. But I know what you really want to ask. Why should you listen to me about bookkeeping for your small business? Well, I have 10 plus years experience as an accounting clerk for a law firm. And friends, that makes me your bookkeeping BFF. I have a whole lot of trial and error in my own small business, and I really just want to help you avoid making the same mistakes that I made along the way. So, a real brief history of my blog and business is in 2011, I started my blog after I made a wedding birdcage card holder thing for one of my best friends. I took a couple photos and I shared it online, and Polka Dot Blue Jay was born. Then in 2012, I decided, hey, that was kind of fun. I'm going to make those and sell those on Etsy. And I call that the birdcage era of my business journey. Um, it was super fun. And it really launched my love for blogging at that time. In 2015, I tried some other things. Am I a food blogger? No, I'm a picky eater. Am I a fashion blogger? No, I hate shopping. So in 2016, I really niched down to paper and vinyl crafts because that's my wheelhouse. That's what I love. That's what I enjoy doing. And occasionally I throw in a cupcake for good measure because I have a wicked sweet tooth. In 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, all the craziness that brought into our lives, I discovered that my fellow creatives usually don't have a knack for bookkeeping. They don't like it. They don't want to do it. Does this sound familiar, guys? So I wrote an ebook to help a couple friends out, and they were like, you should put that on Etsy. That might help some other people. And the pivot started. Now in 2022, I help other creatives, other makers with their bookkeeping. It's really, really important that I help you avoid making the same mistakes I made, that I help make your business easier for you and you can avoid the struggle completely. I have an ebook. I offer coaching, one-on-one. And then, like I said, guys, I'm your bookkeeping BFF. Like open book. I do Money Mondays on my social media, and I'm just happy to help my fellow creatives. So let me tell you a story about the bookkeeping hard knocks. I bought, decorated, listed, sold, shipped those custom bird cages for weddings. It was fun. It was creative. But in the end, when I calculated how much I made per bird cage, it was $2. That didn't compensate me for my time. It barely covered my supplies. I couldn't even buy myself lunch. And I worked too hard to make no money. And I suspect a lot of you are feeling the same way. I am putting in all these hours. I am working so hard. Why am I not making any money? So I figured out that I needed to DIY my bookkeeping just like I was DIYing everything else. I couldn't afford to pay somebody. I didn't even know who I would hire. Like, do you hire an accountant? I didn't even know what bookkeeping was. I couldn't do that making $2 off of a project. So I knew I needed to do something. I started tracking my receipts. I made categories. I had a lot of fun in the income column. Like when I would make a sale, I got that cha-ching. Really celebrated that. And then in the midst of learning all of this, I was audited by Etsy. This is the Etsy era where you could only sell handmade and vintage goods. And someone reported that I was a wholesaler masquerading as a creative. So I had to submit an entire folder to Etsy with my receipts, photos of my apartment where I created the bird cages, the post office I usually went to ship them out. Thank goodness I had my receipts in order. Thank goodness my books were up to date. If they hadn't been, you guys, I would have been sunk. So bookkeeping isn't just about taxes. I know that's the big thing most people focus on when they talk about bookkeeping, but there's so many other things that bookkeeping helps you do in your small business. Okay, that's all fine and good, right? But where do you start? I told you my story, but where do you start with your bookkeeping? The first thing you have to do is decide that you're going to own this part of your small business. You are a legit business owner. You may not be where you want to be right now, but taking steps towards that big dream, that big goal you have, it requires you admitting, like, I'm a legit business owner, and you have to treat your business like a business. Once you've said, okay, bookkeeping is important, bookkeeping is part of being a CEO of a company, then you need to get organized. So, disclaimer, it doesn't have to be my kind of organized. You need to do what works for you. Just because something works for me, a system, a method, doesn't mean that it works for you. Everyone has personal preferences. Every home is different. Every method of tracking is different. The most important thing is that you just do something to get your costs captured for your small business. So, if I was going to help you get started, this is what I would suggest. Step 1. You take that free printable that should be in your camp packet, the Bookkeeping Braindump, and you write everything down that you spend money on in your small business for however long you've been in business. And I mean everything. The $5 templates, the subscription to Canva, your domain, your hosting. Did you buy a computer? Did you buy a camera? Did you buy lights for your studio? Everything. Do you pack and ship your own supplies? You better capture those boxes, those packing peanuts, and those stickers that you put on every box. All of those things I just listed off, it doesn't matter what order they go in on your brain dump. You just need to get it all out of your brain. And you can pin this on a wall. Anytime you spend money on something for your business, jot it down, add it to the list so that when you start making a habit of your bookkeeping, you can circle back to your list to make sure you're capturing everything. Additionally, marketing, travel, other costs, it's better to capture it. And then when you do your taxes the next year, you can ask your tax professional, is this deductible? Can I deduct this from my expenses? Is this an okay cost to include on my taxes? It's better to have it and then not need it versus the other way around. I'm sure you can imagine. Now, once you've got all those costs grooving in your brain, out of your brain, onto your paper, you need to get organized with what you do have. So, do you go to your craft store and get a receipt? Where are you putting that receipt when you get home? You need to designate something for all of your physical receipts. A drop zone. I call it a drop zone. It's a place where you put every receipt that you get for product, supplies, merchandise that you purchased for your small business. It doesn't matter what it is. I made this little receipt box, which you can get the free SVG on my blog if you want to make your own. But it doesn't have to be that. It can be a pin board in your pantry. It can be a paint bucket on your desk. It can be a box under your bed. As long as every receipt goes in the same place. Now, I'm a mom. When I get home from the store, the first thing I do is tend to my family, put the milk in the fridge I went to the grocery store. I am not focused on logging my receipts. So it's important to me to have a place that's very easy to set my purse down on the counter and put my receipt away. I have to do it right then or it gets lost. It ends up smashed up in my purse, 1,000 different places. It's important to do it right when you get the receipt. If you want to go completely digital, when you get in the car from the store, snap a picture of it and then you don't have to hang on to the paper one. We can discuss that in a second. But create your drop zone so that you have everything you need in one place and then be consistent. Do it every time you get a receipt. Now, digital receipts, like I said, you can snap a picture of your receipt and then you don't have a physical copy. Or we all do online shopping. I'm looking at you, Amazon. Where are you putting all of those emails with your digital receipts? Are they in your inbox? Do you delete them? Friends, you got to capture those costs. So I would suggest starting in your email inbox, create a folder with this year's number in it. So at the time I'm recording this, it would be 2022. Put the year on it. Any receipt you get for purchases for your small business, you drag that email and you drop it in the folder. This baby steps, you guys. You got to start somewhere. Having all your digital receipts in one place is the first step to being able to collect all of them to do your taxes, so you can capture all those costs. Do not spend hours trying to find old emails 10 minutes before you have to go meet your tax professional to do your taxes. That is torture. So Amazon, Target, Etsy, a lot of different websites have order history where you can pull up old receipts. Because I know you're probably thinking, oh man, I am sunk. I haven't been doing this. That's okay. You can pull up all your old receipts from most of those websites, even ones that are maybe one purchase. You can probably pull up your order history if it's in the last year. So now that you have all of those receipts, you have your physical ones from the store, you have your digital ones in your email inbox. What do you do with them? Well, now you have to log what you purchased, from what store, how much it was, all of the details, and you have to put it on some sort of log. You can use the log that works best for you. If you want to print all of those receipts and put them in a binder, that's fine. If you want to put them in different categories and put them on a spreadsheet, that's fine too. If you want to use QuickBooks for self-employed and do everything digital and have it captured directly from your credit card statement, that's fine too. You have to find the method that works the best for you. Capture it all. No receipt is too small. So what are you putting on this log? All the money going out. So supplies, mileage, shipping costs, software, office equipment, all those things on your Braindump. You're also needing to capture all the money coming in. Your affiliate income, ad revenue, your Etsy payouts, sponsorships, straight income because you're selling your own products. You go, guys. You have to capture it all. So the fun one is the income. The hard one is the expenses because they're usually more, it's more time consuming. But if you set up really good routines and rhythms, it doesn't become such a chore. Okay, we've got our receipts. We've got our log that we've put our receipts on. Now what? You have to make time to do this. You have to make time. So I need you to put on your calendar 1 hour, whether it's weekly or monthly, that you will dedicate to doing your bookkeeping. 1 hour. Now, depending on the size of your business, maybe you need to do it a little bit more. Maybe you don't need a full hour. Maybe depending on the season, fourth quarter is really busy, but January, February, not so much. That's okay. You can do what works for you in your business. You are not allowed to not do it 1 month and then spend 6 hours the next month. You have to stay current on the month you're in. Yearly is not an option. You are not allowed to wait and do all of your bookkeeping 10 days before you go to your tax appointment. I do not allow it. If you want me to be your bookkeeping BFF, I do not allow yearly bookkeeping. You have to do it monthly or weekly. I don't think it's necessary to do it daily. If you're at a point where you need to do it daily, go you. I am so proud of you. When you do it consistently, it builds the habit. You're less afraid of it. The numbers don't scare you as much anymore. We creatives, we're good with numbers. We calculate measurements on all of our craft projects. We calculate how many sheets of vinyl we're going to need for that project. We're good with numbers. It hurts my heart when people say, "Oh, I'm not good with numbers." Yes, you are. Yes, you are. This is just a new type of number that you have to take ownership of. And just like when you start any new thing, It hurts your brain a little bit when you're trying to learn something new. That's okay. This is important stuff, guys. This is the money. This is why we're in business, right? Because you have a goal, you have a dream. If it's maybe to buy your kids extra Christmas presents, or to take your family on a vacation, or to quit your 9 to 5 and, be an entrepreneur, you can't do that if you don't know the money. So spend just as much time on your bookkeeping as you do on social media. It's where you see the money. It's the bottom line. It's the thing that's going to help you move the needle forward. It'll also show you where maybe you're overspending and it's not getting the biggest return in your income column. You also may see, wow, I only spent a small amount on this effort, but I made a ton of money from it. Then you can replicate those things. That's a huge, huge advantage to your bookkeeping. So do you still need help? That's okay. That's okay. What's your next step? If you're completely lost, if you're like, whoa, Elise, you just blew my mind and I am so intimidated, that's okay. I have a couple tools for you. I have an ebook. You can DIY your own bookkeeping. It's a very, very basic look at bookkeeping, just like we're talking right now, like a friend, like your bookkeeping BFF. It'll give you the tools to feel confident in your bookkeeping. It doesn't cover everything. The mileage reimbursement rate and rules for each state is different. I suggest you use the federal rate for mileage reimbursement, just FYI. But it'll give you the tools, the basics of a broad overview, and some tracking sheets, some tools that you can use to start doing your bookkeeping. If you're like, no, girl, I need more one-on-one help. I want to talk with you. I want to show you my receipts. You won't believe the box of receipts that's under my desk. We can do that too. I offer one-on-one coaching calls. They're super fun. I enjoy them so much. They just light up my soul because I'm helping someone who maybe is in the same spot I was in 10 years ago. And guys, that gives me so much joy. Okay. So I want to thank you. Thank you for listening to this part of camp, because I know, guys, I know the bookkeeping stuff is not glamorous. It's not the fun talk, and us creatives, we don't like it. But it's where you see the money, you guys. It's where you can do more good for your business, for your family, for your goals, if you know your money, if you know your numbers. I can't wait to see what you do. I can't wait to talk to you more about it. Make sure that you reach out to me on social media or tag me when you're doing your bookkeeping brain dump. I would love to see them. Make sure you don't share anything confidential on those, though. And I can't wait to hear more about your successes. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.